Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our weekly women's volleyball press conference with head coach Tyler Hildebrand. We will start the press conference with an opening statement from Coach Tyler, and then we will have questions from the media.
Thanks, Lindy. I keep getting a lot of comments about you guys could get it done in 3 and heart attack and all that. And so, but, we'll take 2 wins. And I thought the girls played with a lot of heart, played really hard together, and played really good volleyball at times. And congrats to UCSD and UC Irvine on 2 big, great matches, and they played well. And I think it was a really good showing of volleyball this weekend. And UCSD has been really close in a lot of matches, and so we were really happy about that win. Obviously, being down 14-11, but that was one of the first times I kind of felt bad. They've been so close, and they really deserve to win a lot of matches, and so it was kind of a weird feeling after that match. Obviously, I was really happy we got the win, and the way we did it with 5 straight at the end was just, those are really exciting things to do. But I felt a little bit bad for Ricky, his staff, and that team. They played great. So anyway, but that's 4 in a row for us, and I think we're battling hard, and we're learning, and we're getting better, and every time we have a focus or 2 for the week, we've ended up. So blocking was the focus, and I think we outblocked our opponents 27-19, at least on our stats, over the weekend. So we're working, grinding, and we got 2 tough matches this week on the road.
I'm sure those people will look to have you guys sweep this weekend with UC Riverside and UC Davis, but of course, those are 2 teams that you can't take lightly. Anything that changes to maybe, not make it go to 5 sets this coming week?
We gotta get to 25 first. We certainly have zero thought into whether we sweep a team or not. And, I don't know if it's always a sign of playing that much better if you sweep a team or not, because, we're working on the same things all year, finding joy, trying to learn a new system and play to our potential. And so the expectation of how many sets we win, that's we can't control that. But President Connolly was there, and she said, "Hey, great win, and happy with the win, but my bedtime is pushed my bedtime back." So the only thing to consider is obviously we want to be playing better volleyball longer, and so that's how we don't go 5, is not having some ups and downs. It's not effort, or it's not. I don't think it's like a lack of focus. It's just we got to play better volleyball for longer periods of time. But as I said a couple times already this year, this team is pretty special in how they're able to hang in there when things aren't going their way, or they got their backs against the wall. So we'll take any win however we can get it.
Well, you mentioned one of your 2 goals earlier in the year was joy, and then of course being good learners. How we're reaching the halfway point of the season. How would you assess your team in achieving those goals?
Good question. We, I think we had a couple weeks where we had lost playing with joy. We were maybe victims of our circumstance with losing matches. So the results made us, and that's what happens with everybody. You get some losses, and no longer it's about joy because it's not fun to lose, right? So that's when you gotta, take a deep look at how you're handling that, and are you allowing a loss to change who we are, or losses to then are we jumping ship? And so we went through that, and we've talked about it quite a bit, and we've tried to make some change, and I'm really proud of our women and our staff of being able to go, okay, hey, we can't do this, this, and this, and go down this path. I'm not talking volleyball. I'm talking how whether it's play with joy or be great learners in those scenarios, or be great teammates, or continue to have belief that we can win matches even if we don't have our best stuff. The overall assessment is that other than maybe a couple of weeks, it's been really good. And I think in the last 2 weeks, we've really worked hard on trying to remind our team of being who we are regardless. And it'd be interesting, if we don't come back down 0-2 against CSUN, or we don't come back 14-11, or we get the reverse sweep on us last night or Saturday night. if I'd be saying the same thing, because that's when you get really challenged, is when you get losses. So we're trying to learn, we're trying to grow, and I think the girls are doing a pretty good job of it.
It's a little weird of a schedule this week compared to some other weeks. We got a Thursday game and then the Saturday game. Anything different that changes in your approach?
Yeah, we had to go really light today. I mean, we go light on Mondays usually, but we went more light today because of 2 5-setters. The girls that didn't play in those matches, they jumped a little bit more and hit a little bit more. So with the Thursday, Saturday, you have to go light on Monday, because Tuesday you got to have a full jump practice, and Wednesday you got to have a modified jump practice. You can't go super light on Wednesday too, because you got to get training in over the course of the season. So so we'll go really hard tomorrow and Wednesday, prep Riverside those 2 days. Then we'll obviously play at Riverside, and then we'll have the flight on Friday, and then we're going to train up there on Friday night to prep Davis. So that's how that changes for me. It's more of how do we keep them healthy? How do we get our prep in? And we can't over adjust with a different schedule. The Tuesday, Friday that we have coming up as well with Hawaii and Fullerton. We can't over adjust and just think only about that, because we got to train over time. And if we lose out on 6-on-6 training this week, then that's going to pay dividends in the wrong way at the end of the year. So it's a puzzle, that you're thinking this week, but also how does it go into the whole season?
And then you did mention blocking was a focus last week. It's going to be a little bit tough in terms of UC Davis. They have the 6'6" Josie O that has been a force in this conference for a while now. Yeah. So anything that you're looking to work on, is it blocking? What is it also floor defense as well? Yeah,
the last 3 weeks we've been working really hard on floor defense, and it's gotten drastically better. We're still not where we're capable of being, and we're not I wouldn't say most people looking at our team would go, oh, their floor defense is one of their best skills. And so we need to keep working on that. And when I say focus, the way we work, we essentially have a similar practice design all the time. It just changes how you structure the drill or what direction the ball is going, or you make these small adjustments. We never want to fall in the trap of like, okay, we got to get better floor defense or blocking, so we're going to skip passing and skip serving to fill that time. So this week as a focus in general, we won't really start doing prep on Riverside until Wednesday in terms of putting it into practice with jerseys and having people simulate them. So today was all about first contact and touches, and then tomorrow will be all on us. But our areas we got to get a little better. We got quite a bit better at serving, but we're not serving as well. In the last couple of matches, I think if we become a great serving team, then we're going to have that's probably the main reason why we're not winning in 3. We win in 5 is that we're not serving well enough, long enough. We need some people to hit their serves and to trust them. So this week is more blocking focus and serving focus. So again, those are minor changes. We're not making big changes, because you got, again, the whole season you can't fall into that trap of like the whack-a-mole, like, hey, serving's not good, let's work on serving only this week, and then block. So you got to be training the whole game all week. So yeah, that's our focuses this week.
Coach, individually, you had several career highs over the weekend. One most notably was Dylan's 34 digs on Friday. Can you talk a little bit about Dylan's performance and just what she's been doing this season and how she's just been continually getting better?
Yeah, we I think in the last 3 matches and in 5 sets, we've had like 12 or 13 career highs. It's like 4 every match, and Katie doubled, tighter career high kills. But Dylan specifically, that was great. You pulled that stat up right away, Lindy, about we haven't had anyone at Long Beach State have over 30 digs since 2010. That was Lauren Minkles, who's a great friend of mine, and she was one of the better liberos that's played here. We've had a lot of good ones. And but she only had 32 digs. I want to know I don't know when the last time someone had more than 30, more than Dylan did. It's obviously going to be dating back past that. So Dylan, I'm really happy for Dylan. I talked to her in the fall or in the spring. She's been playing volleyball her whole life, and this is her last year, and with a new staff. And I told her from the beginning, I'm like, Dylan, I want you to have a memorable year. And I don't know if you're going to be our starting libero or a DS or whatever, but I want you to have a memorable year in your last year because you've been playing your whole life and you deserve that. And so Dylan was a little frustrated with a few things, I think 1 or 2 weeks ago, and was a little bit too hard on herself. And I just tried to give her some perspective and said, Dylan, you've never started at libero. You were a setter in high school. You're starting every match and you're playing great. And she's played great all season. She had a couple of matches where she wasn't great. She was just good. But so I think in the last 3 or 4 matches, she's really been remembering to smile a little bit more, find the joy, and not be too critical of herself. Because she can, I mean, I think this generation gets way too critical of themselves and it throws them off. So she's been, I think, she's kind of bounced back from being critical. And then maybe that turns into having a couple great performances, in particular against UCSD. But the other part of that question is that I got to keep reminding myself, my staff. You got to kind of remind the girls. We got to remind our media and our audience. Like, there's a lot of new people that have not played a lot of volleyball and certainly not played together. If you go down our starting lineup, only a few of them have been starting and playing on their teams, and the ones that started on the transfer portal, which I think is just Morgan, is they're learning a whole new system. So for Dylan, this is her first time doing all this. So that's why we're seeing all these career highs because these girls are the first time they're going 5 sets and having long battles because they haven't really done that. I mean, other than Katie, obviously, but Katie's obviously stepped into a way bigger offensive role than she's ever had here. So.
All right, thank you, Coach.
Thanks.